Welcome back, poetry fanatics, to another episode of the PoorManPoetry.com podcast, episode 59 to be exact. I am your host, Dennis, and thank you for watching, also liking, and subscribing here on our YouTube, and also on our streaming platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you like to stream our podcast. As you guys know, last episode, we gave you the Masterclass breaking down Drake's verse off of the Buffalo Freestyle with Benny the Butcher. Today, I'm going to be doing part 2 of that with Benny the Butcher's verse. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, man. Masterclass. Here we go, part 2, Masterclass, Benny the Butcher verse. Let's do it. Yeah. Alright, let's stop. Let's go back a little bit. Benny said, it's worth more when you earn it, guilty the verdict. Burning law buildings and furnace, trash bags and detergent. That's an example of imagery. Imagery is the use of words to describe a situation to create images in the mind of a listener. Also, well, let's keep going with the verse. I'm not sure if we got past this part. Let's go, Benny.
Work 300 times at least. I'm still nervous. Here to speak for the hopefuls, keeping it soulful.
Okay, let's stop it there. Benny said he drove to work 300 times at least. That is an example of jargon. Jargon is a dialect or dual language used by a particular group of people. In that bar there, he said he drove to work 300 times at least. Work is that example of jargon. Work is, if you're in the streets, you know what work is. And also, there's an example there of an internal rhyme. Internal rhyme is the middle words and end words in a line or in the middle of the next that also rhyme. So in that bar, Benny says, here to speak for the hopefuls, keeping it soulful. The internal rhyme there was hopefuls and soulful. Let's keep it going, man. Couple of poetic devices there. Let's break them down. So, Benny says, face down at the bar having drinks at Komodo. Hopefully these meetings on rooftops never turn into jail visits. I only put a smile on my face when the scale's tipping. That's an example of irony. Irony is the use of words to convey a meaning that is opposite of its literal meaning. There's also an example of internal rhyme there again, which is the middle and end words in a line or in the middle of the next that also rhyme. That example of internal rhyme there was when he says, they're trying to tie me to the greats every other week. I'm buying a safe. So yeah, you get what he means there. Let's keep it going.
It's more satisfying when you wait. Had to hide so many stacks in my crib. I got a booby trap. My closet looked like an off-white versus Louis match.
Ooh. Benny says, I had to hide so many stacks in my crib. I got it booby trap. My closet looked like an off-white versus Louis match. That's an example of a paradox there. A paradox is a statement that seems silly, but when explained or scrutinized, it checks out to be true. So let's break down that bar there. Benny says his closet looks like an off-white versus Louis match. Well, I've never been in Benny's closet, but as we can see when he steps out, you know, he's pretty dapper. What the kids call he has the drip. So yeah, I can see his closet looking like an off-white versus Louis match. Let's keep it going with the Buffalo Freestyle. Bitterness. Let's stop. All right, there's a couple of examples of simile in there. So, Benny says, even your compliments starting to look like bitterness. Well, let's first explain what a simile is. A simile is a comparison of two things using the words like or as. So Benny says, even your compliments starting to sound like bitterness. As you can see, he makes a comparison, saying starting to sound like bitterness. Later on in the bar, he also says, every line delivered with hunger, my flow is a sure thing like a death certificate. So, as you can see there, he also says his flow is a sure thing like a death certificate. Let's keep it going with the verse.
This dead, spill blood over this bread. Have my family thinking I'm in over my head.
Whew. Soldiers is dead, spill blood all over this bread. Have my family thinking I'm in over my head. That's another example of internal rhyme. Internal rhyme, like I said earlier, is the middle words and end words in the line or in the middle of the next that also rhyme. Let's keep it going.
Bagging up breathing chemicals when the key was the pinnacle.
We got to stop there because that's an example of alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonants starting several syllables or words close together. So that example of alliteration was bagging up breathing chemicals. So the B's there, the bagging up breathing chemicals. So that's an example of alliteration. Let's keep it going. That was it right there. But let's stop there and explain that last example of imagery. Imagery is the use of words to describe a situation or to create images in the mind of a listener. So as he was saying there, now at my high school is giving speeches, speaking political. Got here being original. Every day it's like a new me, the businessman versus me as the criminal. I'm the quiet one in the room, keeping it minimal. Till my house is big enough, I can park the V in the living room. Can you imagine that? All those are examples of imagery. But yeah, that's the end of the verse there, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys haven't, go back and listen to part 1 where we give you guys a masterclass breaking down lyrically Drake's part of this Buffalo freestyle. Also, keep subscribing, man. Keep liking. Make sure you guys hit that like button on this button if you guys enjoyed those poetic device breakdowns for us, and just keep supporting, man. We definitely appreciate it. Thanks. Till next time.